Hey everybody, welcome to this Web Life Marketing EMD algorithm update. The news screen that we are putting out every day as much as we can regarding the news that's being talked about with this new Google exact match domain algorithm. So what we're beginning to see out there is that we have this EMD algorithm is beginning to really light up the forums now. All over the place. We see it on the Digital Point forums and especially the Warrior forums as well, and websites all over the place. But one thing that we're beginning to see in a lot of different places, which was kind of anticipated, was that some people are already seeing recovery. So that's really good news. The EMD algorithm update, if there's any Google people listening to this, it really doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. People can't figure out whether or not having an exact match domain is a penalty, or if it was just something that the algorithm is affecting in other ways. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure more out on more things on this. Figure it out by gathering more information. There's some great websites out there that other SEOs are putting out that are asking for people to give examples, which they can get conclusive data, and we're doing the same thing here. That's how we put this EMD algo, why we put it together. So secondary keywords are not in the domain are beginning to jump up. So what this means, for those of you who may not know, if you are targeting a keyword and you have those keywords in your domain name, that's what a lot of sites were being punished for. Now, if you actually have secondary key phrases or phrases that are similar to your main phrases, those key terms may actually be jumping up. So some people are actually restructuring their key title tags to focus on the secondary domain, or I'm sorry, the secondary keyword phrases that could actually bring in traffic. So those are some things that I've heard of some people doing. I don't know if that's really something that anybody wants to drastically do, unless you have a couple of sites and a couple of tests. That would be maybe a good thing to do. Let us know what you find out. The Warrior forum posts are really long, and some of the people are putting some great tips, and we really appreciate those who are willing to stick their neck out and get some criticism over it as well. There's one guy particularly that I've been seeing that's really doing a lot out there, and I'll give you one of his links. In the meantime, there's another site that I came up with at hiraseo.com. His blog is offering some tips on some of the recovery that he has seen as well. So that's something to keep note of, that there are actually blogs out there that are showing some recovery methods or tools and tips that are out there. If you go to his site, you'll definitely see what I'm talking about there as well. So for instance, he has like a 10-tip list, and some people may or may not agree with all this, but what my job here is just to go ahead and compile data. But he says things to use. Start using keywords like brand name your keywords to prove yourself. He says that Matt Cutts, tweeted low quality sites, so it's better to check to make sure you have all the terms of service, which is really good to have anyway. So have your privacy policy page set up there. That's maybe something that they're checking into. He says take care of the bounce rates. If you're getting a lot of bounce rates, do take action to go ahead and fix those. Add links, or just a lot of strategies you can look up on how to affect your bounce rate. They say most sites below 50% are good. He also, number 10 step is this: wait till the dust settle, which is something that we're going to be recommending for a lot of people to do. Another thing is to get your anchor text, your keyword phrases below 5%. So your text links that are coming in, make sure that they're not all one name, especially if it's actually your EMD. So take a look at his site. You'll actually see it's still on the top as of today so far. Those are some of the tips that are actually, like I said, coming out. The other thing you can do is we are now seeing, this is the guy I was talking about on the Warrior forum. Becker is putting out his neck to really give some good data on what he's found with as far as case studies go. So you can actually look him up, go to the Warrior Forum, and go to the AdSense-PPC-SEO-discussion-forum, and look for him. He's at 686084, which is the EMD penalty recovery prevention case study. Pause this video if you have to, type it in, but go ahead and find this because you'll actually see some case studies of sites that were and were not affected by it. This is a really, really good resource for those who maybe can match things that are similar or some things that you can prove wrong as well. And be nice. There's no reason for anybody to get nasty over information where somebody's willing to put their neck out to say, hey, this is just what they found. Because one thing that we're noticing is that inconsistencies everywhere. On the message boards, the forums, the blogs, people are saying that they are seeing some things that have been affected and other things that have not. Nobody has been able to really pinpoint the exact thing that's been affected because there are a lot of EMDs who have not lost their ranking. The way that I see it, the best way to describe it is if your EMD was holding you up and your SEO otherwise was weak and your competition was weak, and that's why you ranked number 1 or high, this EMD basically took all the power out of your domain name holding you up, which was a big part of the algorithm. So if you didn't have your backlinks holding you up, if you didn't have your inlinks properly put together, if you had bad backlinks coming in, if you just didn't have good content, long enough content, quality content. That's another thing. If you don't have your, like even what Hero SEO, his site said, your terms of service, do you have a privacy policy? All of those things actually make a big difference. So you have to have all of these put into place to have solid SEO as well. Your title tags, everything that has to do with a well-rounded SEO profile. If you're fully relying on your EMD, they're saying that this is what is the reason of your drop, is because the EMD no longer. Now, of course, the inconsistencies are also saying that some EMD should never have even disappeared, and they cannot figure out why and what's going on with that, where it's like the only way to see them is to actually do a search for the actual domain name with the .com or whatever the extension is on that. But we still don't know what the problem is, other than that we're seeing a lot of the EMD main domains that have been hit hard. So a lot of boards are also saying that this is more like a penalty for some people rather than just an update. And it could be, who knows? That's why I said we're waiting for the dust to settle to see what happens. Another side note is on the SEO Roundtable blog, I noticed that somebody had mentioned that the Google image algorithm had done an update as well, and they noticed a shift in that, and it could very well be tied to, I think his name is Barry Schwartz, who is well known throughout. He runs SEO, the SEO Roundtable, or he has a lot of posts on there, and he has videos that update everybody on the SEO world. But he's saying that is it possible that this is actually because it's tied to the EMD algorithm update? So in the end, inevitably, still because we are still seeing shifts happening. The wait and see seems to be what a lot of the higher end or more experienced SEO experts are saying to do. In the meantime, others are taking other stances when they're continuing to build. They're not actually focusing on exact match. Now, here's something I want to bring up here's something that we found that was really interesting. We launched EMDAlgo.com to go ahead and compile information and put it through. And if you notice, EMD Algo, I'm not signed in, and I actually cleared my cache. We're on page 2 of 263,000 results for EMD Algo, and this site, which was just put up, EMDAlgo.com, by us to do the compilation where these videos are linked, is actually showing up on the middle of page 2, number 1, 2, 3, 4, number 15 in the middle of page 2. And it's an exact match for EMD algorithm, which is what I searched. So I realize it could be a rank and tank, or what they call the honeymoon rank, where it's just going to be there for a bit because it's a new site. But that's something to take notice of. It's not maybe necessarily a penalty like it was thought of, or maybe the refresh has to rehappen, or And we're still trying to figure it out, and we're going to think that we're going to be climbing. There are other people who are also saying if you read the board about the tips that are being offered, but go to this post at the Warrior Forum, you will see that he has information that is actually quite helpful. That talks about the different things that he's noticed, as well as YouTube video links coming into the sites that didn't that seem to have actually helped keep their sites maintain their ranking. And the linking that's actually being done, and the social media proof that has been done is actually another thing that is being mentioned by the specker, saying that these are the sites that have not been hurt by this algorithm update. And you know, for our site to be ranking so quickly, and all we have is a YouTube link coming in, it could be that he's right. So maybe try throwing up a couple of YouTube videos and linking into your site that way and see if you get recovered. He's also seeing increase in ranking on some sites, which so have we. In some of our sites, we've seen secondary keywords go even 6 pages up, from page 8 all the way to page 2 or even closer. So we're seeing, like I said, some different things that are actually helpful, and that could be just because the competition has dropped away. But I also saw that one time when the Panda and Penguin updates had sometimes come through as well, and then when they corrected themselves. So with that being said, we are asking if you have any information that you'd like to share and you want to send us either an email, an MP3 audio file, or even maybe a YouTube video link, or if the video is small enough, attach it. Send it to EMD Algo update at gmail.com and tell us what you've noticed, what you've been affected. If you are open to giving your URL and tell us where you ranked prior and to this EMD Algo update, that'd be great. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for to figure out and get the community helping out on there. Thank you for listening. We'll get more news out there as we get it and get it and compiled. Like I said, if you have other recommendations for websites that we could look at to compile more data on this, that would be very helpful too. So have a great evening, and thank you for watching the Google EMD algorithm update from Web Life Marketing. This is Chris, and I will talk to you later. Bye.